He was country music's first African American superstar. I'm Tyrone Bowman. This is Tyrone Bowman Tonight. Tonight I will be profiling and talking about the one and only Charley Pride, an individual who was a trailblazer, a record recording artist, and an all-time baseball player. Let's talk about Charley Pride on tonight, on Tyrone Bowman Tonight. Before I do, check it out. If you're passing by and you happen to be looking and viewing this channel tonight, if you like the content of it, hit the like button. Also subscribe to Tyrone Bowman Tonight. We're almost at the 100 mark. That would be an awesome milestone here. So help a brother out. All we need is 2 people to hit that like and subscribe button. And now on to the profiling of the one and only Charley Pride. Charley Frank Pride was born on the 18th of March of 1934, and he passed away sadly on the 12th of December 2020. Charley Pride was an American country music superstar, the first African-American singer, guitarist, and professional baseball player. His greatest musical success came in the early to mid-1970s, when he was the best-selling performer for RCA Records since Elvis Presley. During the peak of years of his recording career, which was 1966 to 1987, he had 52 top 10 hits on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart, 30 of which made it to #1. He won the Entertainer of the Year award at the Country Music Association Awards in 1971. Pride is one of 3 African-American members of the Grand Ole Opry, the others being DeFord Bailey and Darius Rucker. He was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame in 2000. That is long overdue, y'all. Are you serious? You have young recording artists who have 1 hit, and you induct them into the Grand Ole Opry Hall of Fame. Get serious and do better. Charley Pride was born on March 18, 1934 in Sledge, Mississippi, the 4th of 11 children of poor sharecroppers. His father intended to name him Charley Frank Pride, but owing to a clerical error on his birth certificate, his legal name was Charley Frank Pride. 8 boys and 3 girls were in the family. His elder brother, Mac Pride, played in the Negro League Baseball before entering the ministry. When Pride was 14, his mother purchased his first guitar, and he taught himself to play. Though he loved music, one of Pride's lifelong dreams was to become a professional baseball player. In 1952, he pitched for the Memphis Red Sox of the Negro American League. In 1953, he signed a contract with the Boise Yankees, the classic Sea Farm team of the New York Yankees. During that season, an injury caused him to lose the mustard on his fastball, and he was sent to the Yankees Class D team in Fort du Lac, Wisconsin. Later that season, while in the Negro Leagues with the Louisville Clippers, 2 players, Pride and Jesse Mitchell, were traded to the Birmingham Black Barons for a team bus. Jesse and I have the distinction of being the only players in history to be traded for a used motor vehicle, Pride mused in his 1994 autobiography. Pride pitched for several other minor league teams. His hopes of making it to the big leagues still alive, but was drafted into the United States Army in 1956 after basic training. He was stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado, where he was a quartermaster and played on the Fort's baseball team. That team won the All-Army Sports Championship, When discharged in 1958, he rejoined the Memphis Red Sox. He tried to return to baseball, though hindered by an injury to his throwing arm. Pride played 3 games for the Missoula Timberjacks of the Pioneer League, a farm club of the Cincinnati Reds, in 1960, and had tryouts with the California Angels in 1961 and the New York Mets 1962 organization, but was not picked up by either team. Big mistake. When he was laid off by the Timberjacks, he moved to work construction in Helena, Montana in 1960. He was recruited to pitch for the local Cimprio baseball team, the East Helena Simmerlites, and the team manager helped him get a job at the local Asaro lead smelter. The lead smelter kept 18 jobs open specifically for baseball players and arranged their shifts so they could play as a team. Pride batted .44 his first year. Pride's singing ability soon came to the attention of the team manager, who also paid him to sing for 15 minutes before each game, which increased attendance and earned Pride another $10 on top of the $10 he earned for each game. He also played gigs in the local arena, both solo and with a band called the Nighthawks. And Asarco asked him to sing at company picnics. His job at the smelter was dangerous and difficult. He once broke his ankle. He routinely unloaded coal from railroad cars, shoveling it into a 2400 F furnace while keeping clear of slag, a task which frequently gave him burns. In a 2014 interview, Pride explained, "I would work at the smelter, work the swing shift, and then play music," said Pride. "I'd work 11 to 7, drive. Play Friday, pitch in the dry position, Phillipsburg." Between his smelter job and his music, he made a good living in the Helena area. He moved his wife and his son to join him, and they lived in Helena until 1967, purchasing their first home there, and with their children Dion and Angelina being born at the local hospital. The Pride family, they moved to Great Falls, Montana in 1967. Because Pride's music career was taken off and he required quicker access to an airport, the family ultimately left Montana and moved to Texas in 1969. In a 1967 interview with the Helena Independence Record, his wife, Rosina Pride, commented that the family encountered minor racism in Montana, citing an incident when they were refused service in a restaurant at another time, when a realtor refused to show them a home. But she felt that the family endured less racism than she saw levied against local Native American people, whose temperament she compared to that given to black people in the South. Pride has generally spoken with fondness of the near decades he spent there. "Montana is a very conservative state. I stood out like a neon, but once they let you in, you become a Montanian. When the rumor was that I was leaving, they kept saying, 'We will let you in. You can't leave.'" On June 5th, 2008, Pride and his brother Mac, the Knife's Pride, and 28 other living former Negro League players were drafted by each of the 30 Major League Baseball teams in a recognition of the on-field achievements and historical relevance of 30 mostly forgotten Negro League stars. Pride was picked by the Texas Rangers, with whom he has had a lifelong affiliation, and the Colorado Rockies took his brother Mac. While he was active in baseball, Pride had been encouraged to join the music business by country stars such as Red Sylvain and Red Foley, and was working towards this career. In 1958, in Memphis, Pride visited Sun Studio. In 1958, in Memphis, Pride visited Sun Studio and recorded some songs. He performed his music solo at clubs and with a 4-piece combo called the Nighthawks during the time he lived in Montana. His break came when Chet Atkins at RCA Victor heard a demonstration tape and got Pride a contract. In 1966, he released his first RCA Victor single, The Snakes Crawl at Night. Nashville manager and agent Jack D. Johnson signed Pride. Atkins was the lifelong producer at RCA Victor, who had made stars out of country stars such as Jim Reeves, Skelter Davis, and others. Pride was signed to RCA Victor in 1965. The Snakes Crawl at Night did not chart. On the records of this song submitted to radio stations for airplay, the singer was listed as Country Charley Pride. Pride disputes that the omission of a photo was deliberate. He stated that getting promoters to bring in a black country singer was a bigger problem. Pride didn't care if it was pink. RCA signed me. They knew I was colored. They decided to put the record out and let it speak for itself. While living in Montana, he continued to sing at local clubs and in Great Falls, had an additional boost to his career when he befriended local businessman Lewis Allen. Al Donahue, who owned radio stations including KMON, the first stations to play Pride's records in Montana. Soon after the release of The Snakes Crawl at Night, Pride released another single called Before I Met You, which also did not chart. Not long afterwards, his third single, Just Between You and Me, was released. This song finally brought Pride success on the country charts. The song reached number 9 on Hot Country Songs on February 25th, 1967. According to news items by the Associated Press, Pride made his comment in a 1992, according to a news item by the Associated Press, Pride made this comment in a 1992 interview. They asked me how it feels to be the first colored country singer. Then it was first Negro country singer. Then first black country singer. Now I'm the first African American country singer. That's about the only thing that's changed. I'll continue this profile of the one and only Country Pride, the first major country African American superstar. Never surrender, never quit.